सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। So we saw the story begins with the father of Nachiketas doing an elaborate ritual which involves giving away all of one's possessions, all of one's wealth, desiring to gain something much more valuable than what is given away. And Nachiketa is a son, a young son, who observed what's happening, and he felt that the quality of the cows being given. So the fact is this. Commentators have their own spins on this. One spin is what? Father kept all the good cows for the son. Son, so he has kept all the good cows separately. And all the useless ones he's giving away. There is no indication of this in the Upanishad. See, I'm just saying, a person who is trying to expand the story can do so in many ways. So then, Nachiketa was a good guy. He said, don't keep for me, give it away. That's the idea. But you take a more liberal attitude, he has to give everything away. He's a Shraddhavan, which means he would have given everything away. So all the good cows have been given away. Now, he has to give away all his wealth. That includes the old cows. So those also have to be given away. That's a more, that's the way Swamiji would look at it. Why you look at a commentary which tells you he kept all the good cows? That's not a Vaidika who wants to do, Sarvajitya Yajna. But I'm just saying, just because there's a commentary in Sanskritam, and just because it says something, it doesn't mean it is true. We should know that everything in Sanskrit is not true. Everything which is a traditional commentary is not right necessarily. It has to fit with the vision. With the vision we have, okay, even here, even if he says that, it doesn't matter. But a more agreeable approach is to say, everything is given. That includes the cows which are now non-productive. But Nachiketa's attention was drawn by these columns of cows which are non-productive being given away. And what is his thinking? I am more productive than those cows. So if my father gave me away, at least some improvement in the result of his karma. Any action is always like this. Adhikasya adhikam phalam. The better the action, the more you give, the better the result. More the better. That is how karma is. More the better. So if you put more effort, you get a better result. You invest more money, you have a bigger industry. Of course, if you mess up, you will have less also. But I'm just saying, in general, the idea is more gives you more. So Nachiketa says, who are you going to give me to? Dad. Dad, who are you going to give me to? Okay, I give you on to Yama. Mrityave tva dadami. Unto Lord Mrityu, I give you. Don't take Mrityu there as death. So this is the difficulty with dictionary-based study. What is Mrityu? Death. I give you unto death. Means you die. That's not the statement. The statement here is, I give you unto Mrityu Devata. Devata of the Kala. Who is Yamadharma Raja? We should pay attention. In the Veda, Yama is not a bad guy. He is Kala Adhisthana Devata. He is Yama Dharma Raja. He is the one who does the ultimate justice for this life. So what you did, you are accountable for. That's the law. And that law will apply uniformly to everybody. There is no exception there. Therefore, for us, Yamadharma Raja is a Devata. He is not somebody to be avoided. Not a loved Devata generally, but still a Devata nevertheless. You will offer him offerings also. No? So, if you do Sandhya Vandanam every day, you will remember Yama also. Yamaya Dharma Rajaya Mrityave Chantakaya Cha Vaivasvataya Kalaya. You will remember him, all his names. Yamaya. He is Yama. Dharma Rajaya. Further, what is he? Mrityu, Mrityave Cha. Right? But still you pray to him. Why? Because he is a Devata. He can bless you. Sarvabhuta Kshayaya Cha. Audumbaraya Dadhnaya Neelaya Parameshtine. Vrikodharaya Chitraya. Chitraguptaya Vai Namo Namaha. So, we pray to him. Chitragupta is the record keeper. He keeps all your records. What all you have done, what all you have done hiding, what all you have done openly. No hiding from him. Everything is known. That is Yamaraja. He has every information about you. Whole dossier, is available instantly. No need for data mining. It's already available. So, this is Yamaraja. No hiding from him. But still he is revered. Ishvara to us, see this, you should understand. This Devata means what? Are there many gods? Because there is Yama, there is Agni, there is Vayu. And you will see, thing also, what Banasura is, fighting. Who is he fighting? Banasura has Shiva's support and he will be fighting Vishnu. These stories are, Puranas are wonderful for story time. But don't take the stories literally. They have something to say. So the point is, though there are many Devatas, what is a Devata? A Devata is an expression, a manifestation of an aspect of one reality, which is Ishvara. So there is no Devata who has his own writ. They all have a writ, but in their own spheres. It's like you have a corporation running. The CEO doesn't do everything himself. He assigns responsibility. But no fellow can transgress what the CEO says. Governments can come and go, but nobody should transgress the constitution. Right? Therefore, Ishvara is the very being of everything. But Dharmaraja has a job, an unenviable job. What is it? Chalo, let's time to go, let's go. That's his job. But you don't hate him for it. You in fact love him because suppose he didn't take you away. What would happen? What would happen? First you're like this, Homo erectus. Then what happens? Slight bend. Then little more bend. So Puja Swamiji would say, if Yama didn't come, you would become like a snail. In the sense that with age, this body is not capable of living forever. It has to give way to a better body. So there's nothing wrong with Yama. Anyway, so father said, I give you unto Lord Yama. And then father was convinced by the son, please send me there because that is what is appropriate. So Yama is, scene is closed, curtain opens again. Where is Yama now? He is moved out from Prithvi Loka. He is Yamaloka. Nachiketa, not Yama. Nachiketa is in Yamaloka. And where is he? He is sitting in front of a door. You have to imagine like that, okay? Why? Because he went there and his father said, I give you on to Yama. And when he went there, Ramaraja was in Prithvi Loka doing his work. He had a lot of hard assignments. So he had to come himself. His, Kinkaras could not do. Yama Kinkara, Who is a Kinkara? One who will do whatever you want him to do. Kim Karomi, he asks. You tell him, do this, he will do that. Therefore, he is called Kimkara. You have the word Kainkarya. No? When you offer something in temple, it's called Kainkarya. Kimkarasya bhavaha Kainkarya. So, it's connected to Kimkara. One who wants to serve, what he does, what he offers is called Kainkarya. But Yama Kinkaraha. They are all minions of Yama. Whatever he says, they do. But some cases are hard. So Yama has to come. He has to attend to some cases personally. Therefore, Yama was not in town. Nachiketa said, okay, till Yama comes, I have to report for duty first. Then only I will do anything more. They said, please eat something. No. Water? No. Till Yama comes, I cannot take anything because I have been handed over to Lord Yama. So until Yamaraja comes, I am waiting. So Yama arrived in due course. His ministers and his family immediately told him, there's an important assignment awaiting you. What? You have one young brahmachari here. One brahmana has come. And he has refused to take food or water. And if there's a brahmana waiting at anybody's door, not being given the required hospitality, the papa karma for that is too much, we'll all be destroyed. You better take care of him first. Hara Vaivasvata Udakam. Hey Yamaraja, Vaivasvata is Yamaraja, another name. You please carry water to wash the feet of this Brahmana Nachiketa. Iti, the people advise him. I'm not doing every verse, okay? So, this is verse number 7, 117. Right? Don't struggle to search it because by the time you search, I'll move somewhere else sometimes. So don't worry too much about it. So now Yamaraja is told, look, if you don't take care of him, then what happens? Asha pratikshe sangatagam sunritancha ishta purte putra pashunshcha sarvan etad vrinkte purushasyalpamedhasaha yasya nashnan vasati brahmano grihe. A brahmana, if he stays in a house, in somebody's house, without eating, what will happen? All his desires, all his lovable ends will be destroyed, will be gone. Asha. Asha means a hope about something which is unknown, some hope for better things. Pratiksha. Expectation about something which is known. Then whatever they will connect you with, the results thereof. Putra, Pashu, wealth, children, Ishtapurte, all the good punya karmas you do, even that, the results will be taken away. All these will go. Etad vrinkte. For whom? Purushasya alpamedhasaha. For a person who is dim-witted, who will not take care of the guests when they should be taken care of. Therefore, what should you do? Hey Vaivasvata, hara udakam. Take some water and take care of this guest. Yamaraja said, okay. He came, you assume, right? He came and he invited Nachiketa, made him sit down in a respectable seat, washed his feet, and first what did he tell him? Look, sir, Tisro ratrir yadavatsir grihe me anashnan brahman atitir namasyaha namaste astu brahman swasti me astu tasmat prati trin varan vrinishva. 3 nights you stayed at my door. Tisro ratrihi yadavatsit grihe me. You stayed for 3 nights at my home. Like hotel, 2 nights, 3 days, like that, 3 nights. Therefore, and how did you stay? Anashnan, without eating. And what kind of a person you are? You are a guest and a revered guest. Namasya, one who deserves salutation. Namaste astu Brahman. O Brahmana, my pranams to you, my namaskaras to you. Why? Why is he doing pranama? Swasti me astu. May there be welfare for me. I salute you so that you bless me with welfare. Swasti me astu. Tasmat. But why will you give me blessings when I have kept you hungry for 3 days? See, it's not that he was deliberately kept hungry. But even circumstantially, if it happens, it's not good. Therefore, you have to do something to atone for what could not be done. This is called prayashchitta. Because what has been done cannot be undone. But you can do something to remedy something which has been not been done as it should be. Therefore, he said, Tasmat, therefore, since you stayed like that, for each night I offer you one boon, one blank check. You can write whatever you want. So he says, Tasmat prati treen varan vrinishva. Nachiketa did not say, Naini, why I don't need any varam. He didn't say. He said, okay, good. You gave me 3, I will take 3. We need only 1 finally. But 3 are given. This is the storyline, okay? So first boon. So the idea is, see, in our culture, we owe debts. Our life, we have to pay off our debts. So there is Pitrrina, there is Devarina, there is Rishirina. Rinam means debt. It's as though you have borrowed. So the fact that we grew up to be what we are, adults, is impossible unless our parents took care of us. And our parents could not have lived to become our fathers and mothers unless their parents had taken care of them. Now you go back, to which parent should you not do namaskaram? All the way you have to go. This is called Pitrrina. How do you repay it? How do you repay the debt to your fathers and forefathers? Shraddham. Correct, Shraddham. Shraddham you do when they are alive or dead? When they are gone. What about before that? This is unfortunate, People do Shraddham, but when he's alive, they don't take care sometimes. Not a good thing. The idea is you feel indebted to the people who have made your life what it is. They have allowed you to live. You express your gratitude. You acknowledge the role of others in your life, your own parents. That's important. The form of expression may be different. Some other culture, they may not do a Shraddham, but Vaidika is Shraddham. And you take care of generations, not one. So, the time scales, like see in your dream, you have a dream. Do you not spend years in a dream sometimes? So what is the scale of time in a dream? It's different from waking. Same way, the Pitraloka time scale is different. 1 year on earth is 1 day of Pitraloka. Therefore, if you do the Shraddham once a year and do Pindadana, then it is equivalent to giving food to your Pitris every day. Therefore, you do it. That's the idea. Then another thing that will tell you is what? In Taittiriya you will see. After finishing your study, what should you do? You should get married and you should have children. That is another way of handling Pitrrina. Because what you received, the whole values, the culture, everything is passed on to the next generation. That's how society is continuing. If all our forefathers did not pass anything to us, we would have no Veda, no Vedanta, no values, no culture, nothing. It comes to us because people have taken the trouble to pass it on. No? So a festival, why should mother cook something special for you? 4 kids at home, a lot of work to do. But it was done. It was done till we grew up. Why? Because her mother did it. Basically they've seen what's going on and they ask, what should I do? And they do it. You ask them, why you do? Why this? Why Modakam for Ganesh Chaturthi? What's the answer? Ganesha likes it. That's not necessarily true. Ask Ganesha, he'll like a lot of things. But convention. You don't make the same thing every festival. One festival is one food. Children are excited, As children you look forward to Deepavali for some reasons. You look forward to Holi for another reason. Every festival has its own charm. But that's the culture. And who do you owe it to? Forefathers. Pitrrina. The Devatas are blessing you all the time. Therefore you have a Devarina. The Rishis have given you the Vedas. Therefore you have a Rishirina. Therefore, each of these rinas must be repaid. And unless you are free from debt, somebody will tell you, you don't have access to Vedanta. Why? Because you still owe debt. Till you clear your debts, you should not come here. Don't take it literally, okay? But the idea is, people who want you to continue, they'll say, how can you not get married? You should get married. It's the rule. That's the rule. Look, Taittiriya, what does it tell you? Prajatantum ma vyavachetsi. You should not stop the lineage of progeny. It should continue. That's given. Dharman pramaditavyam. You should not go away from dharma. Kushalan na pramaditavyam. Devapitra karyabhyam na pramaditavyam. Don't go away from Devapitra karya. Make right choices. Kushalan na pramaditavyam. Then what? Matradevo bhava. Be one for whom mother is equivalent to Devata. Pitradevo bhava. Treat your father like a Devata. Acharya devo bhava. Be one for whom Atiti is a Devata. Devata means what? Worship worthy, revered. What is Nachiketa? Atiti. Atitir namasyaha. So, Atiti devo bhava. Like this. These are all dharma to be followed. Where did we get all this from? From rishis. Through our parents. Therefore, when Nachiketa is given 3 boons, he wants to take care of his debts and also address his, what he thinks should be addressed. He's a very wise fellow. He's already taught what he has to do. So first one he says, you know what, Yamaraja, when I go back, when you send me back, my father should not take me for some apparition or a ghost. Think of this, right? Somebody you just went and cremated and came back. And that fellow, when you go home, he's waiting and opens the door. What will happen to you? Will you be okay or will you freak out? You were there. You went and lit the fire and you waited for the body to burn and you came. And the fellow is waiting and says, Aiye, aiye. What will happen? You will say, Bhuta, and run. Right? Nachiketa says, look, very clever boon, okay? He said, when I go back, which means going back is already included in that. 2 in 1, When I go back and when my father sees me, father may be very upset and angry because this brat of a son, just because I said something, in anger, in a moment of rage, fellow insisted he should be sent to Yamaloka, could be angry, could be very sad and guilty. I sent my young son to Yamadharma. Could be feeling very miserable. Parents are not happy with the son being lost. Prathama Vayaskaha means he is still not grown up enough to be a father. That's his age. So such a son we have sent away. Maybe angry, maybe sad, will be losing sleep in the night. So first boon is what? Shanta sankalpa sumana yatha syat Vitamanyur gautamo mabhimrityo tvat prasrishtam mabhivadet pratitaha etat trayanam prathamam varam vrine. First boon is this. What? When you send me back, my father should recognize me and love me as the same son that he has seen all. He should not think there's a ghost. He should love me and he should be free from anxiety, free from worry, free from any difficulty. He should be well. So, why this boon? Therefore, we'll say he took care of Pitarrinam. That's the idea, okay? Because why this boon? Suppose you got three blank checks. What would you do? Would you remember your father? We don't know. What you will ask for, we don't know. But this is what Nachiketa asked for. Yama said, all right, done. Okay, granted. When you go back, it will be as you said. Your father will sleep without any problem. He will remember you. He will be your father just like he was to you when you're down there. And he will sleep peacefully in the night. And he'll be free from anger and lovingly welcome you back when you go. Which means he will go back. He will be welcomed back home. So job is accomplished. All right. Now number 2. He has got 3. Yama wants to finish the job, 3 varas. So he is free. Swasti me astu. Second one. Now Nachiketa thinks. Why did father do all this? To go to heaven, right? Hey, there may be many ways to get to Swargaloka. You teach me a ritual which is not so far known, a good ritual, which is easy and people can then go to Swarga with that. Which means Nachiketa understands that this is not, see, he has traveled to Yamaloka and he is talking, which means is he dead or alive? Alive. So who is dead? What is death? That body is left behind, but the same fellow is alive. What does it show? Deha na aham. I am not this body, that shows already. Anyway, and this body travels, the soul, the jiva travels to different realms. More favorable realms, less favorable realms. So where would you like to go? Swargaloka. Why? Hey Yamaraja, I have heard. What have you heard? Swarge loke na bhayam kinchana asti na tatratvam na jaraya bibheti. In heaven, na bhayam kinchana asti. There is no fear, relatively. There is no fear. And na tatratvam. Very important. Yamaraja, he is telling Yamaraja, you know what? You don't show up there. You don't show up in Swargaloka. People will drop, but not because you dragged them away. The body will drop. And you know what? Na jaraya bibheti. Nobody grows old and decrepit in heaven. Jara won't come, which means you will still have Krishna Kesha. You will have black hair, no need to apply, anything, all life. You will be young. Swamiji would say, you will be always sweet 16. You will never grow old. Because if you can grow old, then you will have old age. So you will go there without a childhood and its attendant problems. And you will not grow old. Means what? You are always going to be yuva. So who won't like that such a life? And you won't come, Yama, to take me away untimely. In the middle of youth, Yama comes and takes away. It won't happen. You don't come, we know that. Na tatratvam, na jaraya bibheti. And you know what? Ubhe tirtva ashanaya pipase. There is no physical hunger or thirst. See, when you give Naivedyam, suppose you offer this Naivedyam to Bhagavan, what does he do? You offer all the bananas and coconut, everything you offer. What happens? You find the best bananas and grapes and everything and put. Why? Because you will get it after that. Prasadam you will only get. Correct? So, does he take anything? He does. Saram. He takes the sattva of it. What is remaining is only gross item. The sukshma is gone. Swargaloka is also like that. What? But if devatas look at food, they are happy. They don't need to eat. Na tatratvam, na jaraya vet. Then what? Ubhe tirtva ashanaya pipase. No hunger and no thirst. They don't bother you. That's the status. So that kind of a loka is there, I heard, where people enjoy. Shokatigaha, relatively free from sorrow. Modate swargaloke. People enjoy in Swargaloka, in heaven. So, what should you do? Sattvamagnim swargyamadhye shimrityo prabruhitvam shraddadhana yamahyam. I have shraddha in this karma. Vidya here is upasana. You teach me an upasana, a way of propitiating Bhagavan, which will give me the result of Swargaloka Prapti. And not just me. Anybody who follows that method will gain the same result. It's a knowledge of a means to attain Swarga. And when you do it properly by the book, anybody who does it and who knows it will also gain the same result. Therefore, what he is asking for? He is asking for a result which will benefit the entire humankind. Whole mankind can benefit, because by knowing this and doing what is to be done, they can go to Swargaloka. So this is second boon. Yamaraja says, okay, done. He teaches him everything. Whatever has to be taught, he teaches. Upanishad doesn't talk what he teaches. Okay? That's secret between him and Nachiketa. But it is taught. And how do you check whether Nachiketa understood or not? Come on. Tell. What did you understand? And he repeats verbatim everything he received. Memory. It's all clear. Then Yamaraja is very pleased. What a student you are. What a student you are. I wish we had more students like you. You know, everything I said you just repeat. Rama, 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 I don't get again, second time. So how did this work? So he is very happy. So he tells him, you know what? I will give an extra boon. What's the extra boon? This ritual will be called Nachiketa Agni. In your honor. It will become famous like that. You are such a wonderful guy. And you know what? I'll also give you this Srinkam Imam Grihana. It can be taken as a literal necklace, or it can be taken as a lot of upasanas being taught to him. Many more. You know, you ask for one, I give you half a dozen more. Come on, learn these also. You will have more fun. Like that. He received all this. Now Yamaraja said, okay, second one is given. Are you happy? Yes. Very good. Now third one. Help me to be free from my debt. I have given you 3 boons. Third one you ask for. Now Nachiketa asked what? So, we want 120 now, okay? Verse 120. Yeyam, you chant after me. Yeyam prete vichikitsa manushye astityeke nayamastiti chaike etad vidyam anushishtastvayaham varanam eshah varastritiyah. So why did I make you say it again? Because this is the boon we are interested in, okay? Yeyam prete. No need to repeat now. That's for me now, okay? Vichikitsa manushye. Prete means when he is dead. Sati Saptami. Ya iyam vichikitsa manushye prete astiti chaike nayam astiti chaike. You have to change the order of the words to understand the sentence. Otherwise it won't make sense. So, ya iyam vichikitsa. This doubt, this lingering doubt, this unsolvable doubt in the human realm. Vichikitsa means doubt. What is the doubt? Prete manushye. When a human being's life ends, when he dies to the body, astiti chaike, nayam astiti chaike. Eke means some people. Some people say someone survives death. Others say no one survives death. Okay? How are you going to settle this dispute? What is the basis to settle this dispute? If somebody survives death, that fellow has to come and say, I survived it. He doesn't come back. What is death? What is definition of death? Medical definition may be something. What is our definition of death? Not coming back. Prete prakarshena itaha gataha. No possibility of coming back to this body, okay? If he comes back, he had not gone. You thought he had gone, but he has not gone. Not gone. He is gone. Like in sleep also, you are gone. but you come back. Here, no more coming back. So how are you going to clinch this? And there's a people who say, Asti. There's someone who survives death. And somebody else will say, who will survive? You take the fellow, put him on this funeral pyre, you burn him to ashes and put the ashes also all over. Who will survive? Or you take the fellow, bury him and put one big stone on him. How will he come out? Won't come out. So, you know what? These are all the tricks of some people to bend you, to control you. All this, dharma and all that don't exist. There is no Ishvara, there is nothing. What should you do? Yavat jivet, sukham jivet. Until you live happily. If necessary, borrow money and enjoy. Rinam kritva ghritam pibet. Drink ghee by borrowing money. Drinking ghee means what? Have a good life, okay? That's the upalakshana. Bhasmi bhutasya dehasya. Of this body which has been reduced to ashes completely. Bhasmi bhutaha. Okay, chvi. So that bhasma, what was not bhasma has been made to bhasma. What was not ashes have been made to ashes. Bhasmi bhutasya dehasya. Punaha agamanam. Again coming back. Kutaha. Where have you seen this? Therefore what? Yavat jivet, sukham jivet. Borrow money, don't bother to repay. File bankruptcy. Nobody can get you. Just make sure you're not caught with the wrong action. See, the whole understanding of things depends now on what do you accept as means of knowing. If you accept only, see what are means of knowing? That by which you know something. In Sanskrit we use the word pramanam. What are the means of knowing available to a human being? First one, perception. Perception is given to all of us. You don't earn it. You're born and you find you can hear, you can see, you can feel the sense of touch, you can taste, you can smell. These are given. How do you say something, is there a pot in my hand? Yes. Close your eyes. Is there a pot in my hand? How will you tell? How do you have a knowledge that there is a pot in my hand? By perception. So, what is the means to know there is a pot in my hand? Perception. What is the means to know that there is a class going on here? Assuming you are not asleep. Huh? What is the means to know? How do you know there is a class going on? Eyes are closed. You hear the sound, you hear words. How do you know it's hot? Some of you, Coimbatore is very hot this time. Why is it so hot? How do you know it's hot? I tell you, no, it's ice cold. It feels like you are in Uttarkashi in February. Isn't it? It's so cool and comfortable. Is it not? Yes or no? No? Are you sure? Yeah. How are you sure? I know it's hot. How do you know? I feel it. Do you doubt it? No. But I see smoke. There must be fire. Do you see fire? No. Yes, I see fire. But I will say, I see smoke, there must be fire. Then you're an idiot. If you see fire and you need to look at smoke to decide there is fire, what are you? Mahavidwan. Not ordinary Vidwan, you are Mahavidwan, Medhavi. So, when do you need inference? When do you go for inference? When the available data does not directly tell you something, but you put 2 and 2 together and you come up with 5. No? Do or do 5. You come up with something more, that's all I mean, okay? It's not just two things which are visible. You come up with something more which is not revealed perceptively. Right? Your X-ray shows something, Your blood report shows something, and based on that, the doctor will say, this is potentially the problem. That is called what? Inference. Inference can be one step or multi-step. One step inference is called anumana. Sanskritam word sometimes you have to learn, okay? Pratyaksham, perception. Anumana, one step inference. Then, what do you have after that? Arthapatti. Arthapatti means what? Arthat apatti. By implication, it has to be so. Multi-step inference is called arthapatti. These are the common means of knowledge we all use. Then we have something called upama. By comparison, you understand something in a half-hearted way. You know, you don't know what a tiger is like. Oh, tiger, what do you call it? Oh, it's a big cat. It's a good word, you know, big cat. What do you understand now? Have you seen a small cat? Meow, meow. Yes, I have seen a small cat. What's a big cat? Magnified. Have you seen the cat take a rat out? Yes, I have seen. Or a squirrel? Yes. What a big cat can do, it will take out a bison like that. So you understand what's a cat? You now understand by simile, you know, it's like a cat. It can climb a tree. May not be as agile as a cat, but it can climb. But it has stripes, black and white stripes. It's a tiger. Or it has spots. It's a leopard. It's got spots, but smaller animal, cheetah. You have various means. What do you know right now? You only know one cat, pussy cat. But do you know what's a tiger now? I tell you, it's a big cat with stripes, black and yellow stripes, black stripes on yellow. If you now go to Kanha National Park and you see an animal which has the whiskers like a cat and has black and yellow stripes, what do you know? Ah, that must be the tiger I was told about. This is called upama, pramana. Comparison. You don't know till you see, but when you see, you can recognize. Okay? Then we say there is something called anupalabdhi. How do you know there is no power? How do you know you opened your wallet to pay and you discovered there is no wallet? How do you know? You cannot perceive absence. Perception is of presence. Otherwise, you should perceive absence of the whole world in front of you. So we give it a separate means of knowledge. We assign it a separate word. We call it anupalabdhi. These are 5 means of knowledge which are available to us as human beings. Now, philosophies in the world, darshanas, depend on how many means of knowledge are accepted. One fellow says, I accept only one means of knowledge. What is that? Perception. That fellow will say what? Charuvaka. One Charuvaka. Charuvaka means what? Charu means, you know, people have the name Charu. What does Charu mean? Beautiful. Vak means what? Speech. One whose words sound very pleasant. Like what? Hey, don't worry. Enjoy life. No one is going to get you. Cheating you've done, no problem. So far as you didn't get caught by the police here, it's good. No, my parents tell me that I will pay for all this papam I have done. I will have to suffer bad afterlife effects. Don't worry, all that is bullshit. It's just story, cock and bull story. Don't worry about it. Is it? Yeah. You tell me, have you seen anybody surviving death? Have you seen? Pratyaksha. See Pratyaksha? Only Pratyaksha is pramana. If I don't see it, I won't believe it. He says, if I don't see, I can't believe. How can I believe you? What I see, I will believe. We ask him, hey, did you have a great-great-grandfather? What should he say? He has to use his knowledge, okay? Did he see his great-great-grandfather? No, he didn't see. So what should he say? I did not have a great-great-great-grandfather. Is that correct? I mean, it is silly to say that I will believe only what I see. That fellow is dismissed. Another fellow will say something more. He will say what? Okay, perception, inference are okay. Beyond that, I won't accept. Now, there's a person who is living here, enlivening his body, And this body is now nishcheshta, just lying cold. Rigor mortis is set in. Now, did someone survive or not? Will pratyaksha tell you anything? Will perception tell you? Did someone survive that death or not? Do you know? You see the body lying there. You can't say if something survived. They have tried, I believe, experiment to try to put the body in a glass case and all and see something. They can't see. It's called sukshma. The word sukshma can mean small, but the word sukshma in the context means that which is not available for perception. If it's not available for perception, can you infer something about what was never available for perception? See, you can infer fire when you perceive smoke, and fire was also perceived with smoke on many occasions. If you could never perceive fire and smoke together, could you make an inference? You cannot. Therefore, inference stands on what? On an invariable perception. As a rule, you perceived whenever there is smoke, there is fire. Hundreds and thousands of times it's been checked out. Then you make a statement. What? Yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra vannihi. Wherever there is dhuma, there is smoke, there will be fire. How do you know? I have seen it in my own kitchen. Pakashala-vat, I can say. I have seen my kitchen. Whenever there is smoke, there is fire. Anywhere you go, it is there. Therefore, parvato vanhiman. This mountain is on fire. How do you know? Dhumaha asti. I see smoke rising from the mountain. Maybe it's water vapor. Then there will be no fire. If dhuma is mistaken, then fire is also mistaken. But this anumana, the pramanam. Now, life, does someone survive death? Is there perception ever? No. Can you infer? No. How are you going to settle this now? Whether someone survived death or not, how are you going to settle this? Is there a way? And if you say, yes, one fellow says, yes, there is a survivor. How do you know? I think so. I can also think something, I think there is no brain in your head. How do you know? I think so. How do you know? If your statement is you should accept my statement, right? So, when can you have a statement which can be called knowledge unless there is a means of knowing? So, whether someone survives death is not available for us to know. Whether a person is having punya and papa. What is punya and papa? Good karma, bad karma of the past have come in a form which will help you or make your life difficult. How do you know there is punya papa? You know what is punya papa both called? What are they both called? One word. Adrishtam. What does adrishtam mean? See, some Sanskritam helps in such cases. Then you won't depend on some funny translation. Drishtam means what? That which is seen or can be seen. Karmani, vyutpatti. Darshana yogyaha, drishtaha. What is adrishtam? Not seen. Not seen. Not seen means what? Not perceived. So, when it is not perceived, how can you say adrishtaha asti? Punyaha asti, papam asti. How do you say? Punyam papam is there. What's the means? Who told you there is adrishta? Even if they told you, how did they know? There is no means. If at all there is something like this, you must be told by someone who knows about it. You can't know it directly. But the subtle, the unseen sukshma can result in a sthula later. That possibility is understandable. Because when you get anything coming, you have all these nanoparticles, smaller particles only come together. Correct? Therefore, we say we accept one more means of knowledge, which is called Shabda. 5 plus 1 now. Shabda is one word, Agama is another word, Shruti is another word. They're all synonymous in this context. Means we accept Shabda, Veda is Shabda, okay? Shruti, as a pramanam. Veda is not just a book. Veda is a means of knowing, a means of knowledge. And what is a means of knowledge for? For that which cannot be otherwise known. Which cannot be otherwise known. Because if it can be known otherwise, this is also a very important note. Any one thing can only be available to one means of knowing at a given time. Any one thing. I ask you, what is the color of this flower? Yellow. How many means of knowing do you have to know it's yellow? How many means? Eyes. Is there any other way of knowing color? Any other way? No. Now you don't have eyes. Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum. Can I say or not? I can. So Swamiji, it looks like there are two ways of knowing chrysanthemum. One by smell, one by look, and maybe if I'm an expert at, I can tell by touch too. Perhaps I can taste and it has a unique taste. So it looks like there are multiple means of knowing a flower. Is it true or not? If you didn't have eyes, first imagine for a minute, okay, that you never had eyes. One means of knowledge is missing. Would your chrysanthemum which is smelt be the same as the chrysanthemum you're seeing? It's impossible. Sight is one world. Smell is another world. Taste is another world. Right? You eat a jackfruit. It has all these components. Smell, taste, that feel of jackfruit. Very unique feel. You have all those. With any of them you are able to see. But through any one means of knowledge you will know jackfruit, because jackfruit has got all these 5 attributes. But really, one means of knowledge alone has access to any piece of data. Correct or not? You should be convinced of these. This is not to be believed, okay? You can challenge this and we can have an argument. You cannot disprove this. Any one thing at a given point. Fire. When you see fire, there is only in perception. Eyes. Suppose that I infer fire by temperature, feel, touch. That's a different means. If you see fire, you won't look for temperature. And you don't need to corroborate it unless there's a doubt. Sometimes you need corroboration. Like what? Is this chrysanthemum? Yes, it looks like it. Smell it? It doesn't smell like chrysanthemum. That means your definition of chrysanthemum has to include multiple components. Right? So if something can only be known by 4 different means, you need 4 means for it. But any one means of knowledge alone has access to objects in that sphere. Which means what eyes can tell cannot be substituted by any other means of knowing. What ears can tell, again, cannot be proved by any other means of knowing. And what cannot be told by perception and inference alone can be talked about by Shabda Pramanam Veda. All right? Is this settled? This should be well settled, okay? These things are very important. If you accept this, then If one means of knowledge tells you something, can you question that with another means of knowledge? Is the question clear? If my eyes tells me this is yellow, do you have any other means of knowledge to question the yellowness of this flower? You don't. How do you prove a means of knowledge? How do you prove that your eyes work? If I ask you, prove that you can see, how will you prove it? You have to see. If I say, prove that your ears work, you have to hear. Is there any other way to prove it? No, I don't think my eyes work. Okay? What's the basis? This is yellow. How are you going to prove it? You have eyes. See, the word yellow, of course, is a word which you and I agree. In Tamil, you will call it something else. That's fine. But I am saying, unless you perceive the same color, you can't call it the same thing. Is there any other means of proving it? There is no other way. And can I say, you know what? Yeah, your eyes tell it is yellow, but my ears think they are red. Can I say that? Is it possible? If you can't argue, what should you understand? One and only one means of knowledge has access to a given thing. If you want to question the color, how will you question it? Suppose I now tell you, this is a beautiful red rose. This is a beautiful vermilion red rose. Extra, vermilion red now. What will you say to me? No, Swamiji, it's yellow. Why? My eyes say so. No, I am telling you it is red. Don't you have Shraddha? I am telling you. Red or no? Is it red or no? No? You don't believe me? No Shraddha in me? Should I walk away from here? What is Shraddha? Blind belief? Can you believe this is red? Is it available for believing? But I say, there's a red patch behind. Now, can you say it's not there? You may say, Swamiji, I have not seen chrysanthemum with red patch behind also. That's possible. But this chrysanthemum is special, genetically engineered. It's got a red patch behind. Now what choice do you have? You can say, I can't see it. You can't say it's not red. You can't say it is red. You'll say what? If you believe me, you'll say, all right, it may be red. Or you'll say what? I don't know. But you have to give me the benefit of doubt if you believe me. Or I'm a habitual liar. It's not red. I've seen you do it 10 times. That also is not proof I'm lying this time. I may lie 10 times, but 11th time, tiger came, 11th time, tiger really came, It's possible. So can you deny what you can't see? Can you argue about something which you cannot objectify with the means of knowledge? That's the question. You can't. Now, if I accept Shruti, Shabda, Veda as a means of knowledge, then what it says, how will you contend against it? With what means of knowledge will you argue against Adrishtam? Swami, I don't believe in Adrishtam. Hey, it's not a matter for belief. Swami, I don't believe it's yellow. It's not a matter for belief. Understand what's belief? Behind is red, belief. Hey, this is red. Knowledge, not belief. No, Swamiji, I believe it cannot be yellow. It must be pink. I have only seen pink chrysanthemums. Whatever you believe, right now is it yellow or pink? Can you deny it? Is there any way to deny it? Behind is red. Maybe. That is Shraddha. Front is red. Wrong. That is not Shraddha. If you accept it, is called Buddhimandyam. Not understanding what is Shraddha, what is to be believed, what is not to be believed. That's called Viveka. What should be believed, I cannot say should be, what could be believed, could be believed. But what is against belief cannot and should not be believed. Because you are either telling you it is yellow. You cannot say, I believe it's pink because you say so. You can't. You can ask me, what is this color, Swamiji, this tip of this? That is red. Okay, Swamiji. What about this color in this? Red. Oh, now I understand. You call this color as red. Okay, fine. Then it is red, I accept. If I mean this color by red, you can accept. But if I say, this is yellow, this is yellow, this is yellow, this is red, now you can't. Understand the scope of Shraddha and knowledge. And how do you prove a means of knowledge? Only by using the means of knowledge. Now I say to you, I won't open my eyes. Prove this flower is yellow to me. Prove it. I won't open my eyes. Prove that it's yellow to me. How will you prove? You can do anything you want except opening my eyes. Prove it to me. You can't. So what is the only proof of a means of knowledge? The proof is the means of knowledge itself. You have to deploy it. You have to use it. Okay? Now, Veda says there is adrishtam. There is something called an unseen result of an action. Adrishtam literally translated unseen, unperceivable. So I say, if you did a reaching out action, you will gain what we call punya, which will manifest as a favorable seen situation. And if you did a hurtful action, it will manifest as an unfavorable seen situation, papam. How will you prove these two? We go to Shabda Pramanam because you cannot perceive, you cannot infer. I am leaving the other three out, okay? These are two main ones, perception and single and multi-step inference. We will call Pramana is Pratyaksha and Anumanam. That's enough for us. Now the question is, if Veda is a Pramanam, how will you prove it? So Veda says, if you do good, good will come to you. Can you prove it? You may be able to, but can you definitively prove it? It's next to impossible. Therefore, in general, the entire realm of adrishtam becomes what? Shraddha. It's a matter of Shraddha. But a Shraddha which is not against my reasoning. There are people and people. Why am I born in this situation? Why is somebody else born in a different situation? There must be a differentiator. Because one thing we should know is in this world, everything that I see will be backed by reason. Will be backed by reason. Can you tell me of any one thing, anyone, where you tell me without reason something is there? Can you tell me? It's an open challenge. Can you prove there is anything without a cause? How come you ended up coming to this retreat? Swamiji, I got lucky. Hey, what is luck? Reason or no reason? Is luck no reason? I got lucky means what? For no reason you got it? You got something? Or is there a reason? What do you think? Do you believe in luck or no? In every language, in every culture, you have a word for luck probably. You know, Swamiji would do nice imitations. You know, some tribal somewhere. He comes home and one day he says, Buja buja bo. Right? He didn't get anything to hunt that day. Another day he went. And he got a big deer. And he came back, oh, I got this deer. I'm so lucky. Whatever language he says. He said in African language. But there's a word luck. Because one day he goes, stays whole day struggling to find, and he gets one rat. The next day he finds one deer in half an hour and comes back. What explains that difference in 2 days for the same person? What explains it? Is there a reason or not? I wish every day I could get a deer in half an hour and come back. Hunter. Is there a reason or not? If there is no reason, then it is random. If there is no reason, then anything can happen anytime. Understand the implication of no reason. Anything can happen anytime. And there is no rhyme or reason. Absolutely none. Which means, if you put your foot down, you may stand, you may not stand. The day may be 2 hours or 24 hours. Or it may be a long Arctic winter in the middle of the earth, equator. Possible. You sow a seed, the tree may grow inward internally. When you put a mango tree, you tend it for years, and finally it starts producing cactus-like fruit. Possible or not? How do you believe that by sowing wheat you will get wheat? How do you know? How do you know? No, Swamiji, I know. How do you know? I've seen it 100 times. Doesn't mean 101st time you may not see it. How do you know? How do you know the sun will rise at this time every day? So do you or do you not believe in the existence of a cause? Whether you have reasoned it out or not, if you reason it out, our whole life depends on some order. Our life depends on seeing a connection between what I do and what I get. Is that not true? If I put food in my mouth and my hunger won't get satisfied, will I put food in my mouth every day? No, Swami, I'm not convinced. Then stop eating, find out. Put food in your ears, put some in your mouth, nose, throw some like this, and see whether your hunger is appeased. Then eat some, see whether hunger is appeased. Swamiji, maybe hunger got appeased for some other reason. How will you prove hunger is appeased by eating? Do an experiment. You will be able to prove or not to a reasonable extent to yourself. Yes, when I am thirsty, water quenches it. When I am hungry, food. This must have been our first scientists, But science is only possible when there is a clear cause-effect correlation. All right? Now, what is science? Science is that which lends itself to perception and inference. Science is that which lends itself to proving by perception and inference. What you perceive and can infer, anybody else, if they perceive the same thing, they should be able to arrive at the same conclusion. Where is Veda? That which perception and inference cannot take you to, the means of knowledge for that is Veda. Is it scientific or not now? If it is scientific, then you don't need Veda, throw it away. Swami, I don't like non-scientific Veda, that's your problem. You want science to be Veda to be scientific. That is a foolish thinking. Veda is that which has a whole new realm which is not available for science ever. How would I prove it, Swamiji? Use the Veda. I cannot prove it. Then you have Shraddha. I won't trust it. That's your prerogative. You need not trust. You may trust, you need not trust. But do you see that there is a cause for everything? Does your buddhi tell you there must be a cause for everything? If there is, I am telling you there is one. And that is Adrishtam. I don't like to believe it. That's your prerogative. Am I telling you something which is against reason? You have no reason to fight it. Because I will only talk about that which is not available for reason. So it is not opposed to any means of knowledge you have. So having an attitude towards the knowledge revealed by the Veda, it must be true, though I can't verify it with my other means of knowledge, That attitude of giving the benefit of doubt is called Shraddha. We live our life based on Shraddha. Is that true or not? You study, you send your children to school today with the Shraddha that they will be alive tomorrow. True or not? You go to work today and allow for a, what is called as a deferred income. You have a deferred income. What is deferred income? Your PF. It's your money. They will take away 12% or 8% or whatever it is. And they will tell you, we'll give it back to you when you retire. How do you know I will retire? Maybe I'll be gone before I retire. How do you know? No, then your dependents will get it. We will not give it to you. What is Shraddha? You will live. Generally, unless something goes wrong, you will live till you retire. Shraddha or not? You're driving on the street. You reached an intersection and you see green light. Do you drive or stop? You drive, right? What is your Shraddha when you drive? That the other fellow sees red and stops. Is it true or not? If you don't believe he sees red light, you can't drive because he'll hit you. Correct? So I'm saying, you tell me, you put food in your mouth and you believe your hunger will be satisfied. Have you proved it? You could in this case. But not definitively. Maybe it's coincidence all the times. You don't know. So I'm saying, Shraddha drives a lot of our lives. When you study in school, gravity is there because Newton says so. You have Shraddha or not? If your children say it's not there, what do you tell them? Hey, it is true. Why? Science says so. Can he prove it? I ask between all of us, how many of us can prove gravity here today? How many of us can prove photosynthesis happens today? Botany. How many can prove? You may do a PhD, but can you prove the basics today? Is it Shraddha or is it Jnanam for you? You will call it Jnanam. You will say, I know. But is it knowledge really? Or is it just saying that what my predecessors have told must be true? I have Shraddha in the books of physics and botany. But if the same thing is said by Veda, I'll say, no, it's not true. Why? It's not scientific. It better not be scientific. If it is scientific, it's in trouble. Because then they will say, prove that a jiva leaves this body. You can't prove. Science is over. Veda is over then. But there are things which are not available for perception and inference. And that knowledge, the body of knowledge which talks about the means and ends useful to a human being, but not available for perception and inference, is called Veda, Agama. And Nachiketa is asking, there is this unending question. Unending because you cannot deterministically say whether something survives death or doesn't. Nobody can say deterministically. And unless you solve this vexing problem, you have given me a boon. If I am the one who survives death, then my boon will be different. If I am the one who won't survive death, then my boon will be different. Correct or not? So what I ask for depends on what I consider myself to be. Is it not true? Suppose you are told you have only 3 more days to live. What you will ask for will be very different from if you are told you will have 100 years to live. And if I tell you you have no end of life, then what do you ask for? You have to see now, after this body, what will happen to me if I survive? And what does that fellow need? Will that fellow go away sometime or will he survive again? Is there an eternal survivor? Is there only a temporary survivor? Because unless I understand the reality of who I am, I cannot ask for a boon which is valuable. So, Yamaraja, what should you tell me? Some people say, Prete Manushye. When a man dies, Something survives. Who survives? You. Yama, I want to know whether I survive when this body drops. Does he know the answer or not? He does, because he's already here. Does he know the possibility of Swarga having another life or not? He does. Then what's his real question? Is there a survivor who is never going to go? Is there a truth which is unchanging truth? Everything in the world is changing. Is there an unchanging truth? You tell me about that. If there's an unchanging truth, not available for perception, not available for inference, and it's not to a belief, how will you know it? We'll stop in 2 minutes, okay? If there's an unchanging truth that cannot be perceived or inferred, and it should not just be a Shraddha belief, how will you ever know it? Think about it. Okay? Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om